All right guys, fall is here and that means it's probably time to check out some new gear. So hang out for a few minutes and check this stuff out. What's up guys, Eric here with At Home in the Future, and I'm back with another gear update video to show you some really cool stuff I think you might want as we head into the fall. As always, we're going to check out the latest EDC gear and gadgets, a really cool piece of home fitness equipment, and of course some fall clothes and other essentials. If you see anything in this video that you want to grab for yourself, be sure to check out the links down in the description. I've kind of looked around to find you guys some coupon codes and deals and all sorts of things, so definitely check that out. But let's get this video going by checking out the latest EDC gear and gadgets. All right, I've been goofing off with a lot of really cool stuff over the last few months, so I think I've got some really fun options to show you guys today. We'll kick things off here. So this is the Klymit V pad. So it's the fall, and if you're like me, you're going to a lot of places like high school football games, sitting around a fire pit, all these different environments where there may not be a really comfortable place to sit. Now you could take along a chair if that's your style, but what this is a super compact inflatable seating pad that is surprisingly useful. I've got this thing just in the console of my truck. I just grab it, throw it in my bag, throw it in a pocket, and take it with me. So let's blow this thing up and we'll take a quick look at it. Not much to it at all, by the way, just a little Velcro strap and this little foldable pad and a little twist valve here, so let's blow it up. And there it is, really not a whole lot to it. Maybe takes 2 or 3 breaths to get it blown up, but just enough of a pad. Man, if you're gonna be sitting on the bleachers for a few hours, this thing is a game changer. And the cool thing is, very light, really durable, pretty much weather resistant, can get wet and everything. It's not gonna hurt it, packs down real small. This thing is like 10 bucks on Amazon. So if you're in a scenario where you think you may use this thing like at all, it's a no-brainer to pick up. I think you'll love having it in your kit. Pretty cool little gadget. So that's the Klymit V Seat. Next up, also kind of in the budget category, is this awesome little multi-tool from SOG. Now, I've heard people brag about this thing for a while. This is the Power Pint, but I finally got my hands on one over the last month, and I'm actually really digging this little thing. So obviously, if you've ever seen a multi-tool before, you kind of know the idea. Pliers and all sorts of little tools down in the handle and stuff itself. We'll take a look at that in a second, but this one has a few different superpowers and a really budget package that I think is actually really useful to take with you every day, because you'll actually carry it. This thing will probably fit in the 5th pocket of most jeans, and it packs kind of an absurd number of tools within it. So you got a pocket clip, which you can take off if you want. You have a little hex bit grip down here in the pivot and everything, but you have all these outside accessible tools that actually fold in and out pretty well. So you've got a saw blade on the other side here. We've got a pair of scissors that fold out. We've got can openers, a mini Phillips head. We've got bottle openers and scrapers. And on the other side here, similar things. We've got a little kind of Wharncliffe knife blade, almost like a scalpel style scraper there. We've got a tiny eyeglasses screwdriver. We've got a seatbelt cutter. We've got a double-sided file and everything there. The cool thing about any of these tools is actually if you pull and lock them out, we'll do this with a saw blade here, it actually locks into place where the back of the handle here, whenever you use it, you actually have a full locking mechanism there that you can actuate and push down. So not only do you just get a little pivot friction lock item there, but you actually get one that's fairly solid and everything. Put that back down. And on top of that, you actually get a pretty decent sized pair of pliers, wire cutters, needle nose pliers, all that stuff. And this whole thing is actually super well engineered, less than 50 bucks, a tool that's actually small enough you can take with you and use it every day. It has some ruler markings on the inside that are actually a pretty useful tool. So really dig this thing. Small, compact, relatively inexpensive, great tool. So if you're looking for a new knife, I have an option here. If you've watched my channel for a while, you're probably familiar with Olight as far as their flashlights go. Typically have like a magnetic end and everything, super common in the EDC space. I finally got my hands on one of their knives, which I, to be honest, didn't know really what to think of for a while. Sometimes when people do like crossover products, they're not that great at it, but this is the Oknife Rubato 4. And as far as your everyday carry, mid-size, axis lock style knife, this thing is really surprisingly very, very awesome. So the steel, starting off with that, we've got a nice black coated CPM S35 VM blade. We have some jimping on the back, a nice clip here, not quite deep carry, but is really low profile, which I'd like. And it looks like I think it's ambidextrous too, so you can probably put it on both sides there. Nice choil here on the scales, and this really interesting kind of waved carbon fiber finish. Now there are several models of these. This is just the one that I picked out because I like the black on black and black, pretty cool. But as far as that axis lock style locking mechanism, this is their crossbar lock. I'm actually not sure what they call their version of this, but as you can see, it is super, super smooth. I believe this thing is actually on bearings, but if you're looking for a premium, everyday carry, crossbar style knife that's just the right size, really thin, very light, very tough. This thing has spent a lot of time in my pockets over the last few months. I'm actually very surprised by it. A lot smoother than I would expect. Again, I expected Oknife to be super good at flashlights and stuff, but as far as their knives go, this makes me definitely want to check out more of their lineup. Definitely worth considering if you're looking for a premium EDC knife. So there you go, the Rubato 4 from Oknife. super cool. Now maybe you're not a knife person or just in an environment where you can't carry a knife. It's become really popular over the last few years to check out like pry bars and stuff. So this is one from one of my favorite companies, Big Idea Designs, makes lots of really cool stuff. Based out of my home state here, Tennessee, which I always love these guys. Super high grade titanium. You have an extremely robust pry bar, very thick, big kind of grippy knurling built into the surface here. Comes down to a flat point. You can see some little patina and stuff there from use already. It can probably serve also as a flat-headed screwdriver, but from opening packages and stuff, a lot of times you don't necessarily need a knife, even though you use it for that. You can definitely get in there and scrape and get stuff open. Lots of different knife style uses you can get away with a pry bar. So if you want one that's over-engineered and beautiful and thought out, this is awesome. And you're probably wondering what this is. This is just a little space that's kind of fidgety. You got these little magnetic cubes you can move around, just mess with. So if you need something in your pocket that you can just take out and goof off with, keep your hands busy and stuff during the day. It's got that extra little fidgety element in there. So if you're looking to mix up your EDC, or maybe you just want to carry something where you couldn't normally carry a knife, this definitely fits the bill. Probably one of the nicer pry bars I've seen. Very cool little item there. And speaking of EDC, flashlights outside of knives are probably one of the most commonly carried things out there. Now, if you've watched this channel for a while, you know how much I love RovyVon's A8. This is my EDC go-to, take it with me all the time. Small, compact, USB-C, rechargeable, and not only is it a super bright flashlight on full blast, it's about 700 lumens, which is very bright, but you get all these extra features built into the side, where it's depending on how much you double and triple tap the switch here, you get a black light, you get these little reading lights that you can cycle through when you tail stand it, you get these little red alert lights, which you can make bright to save your night vision, or you can have them flash to signal people. So lots of really cool options built into these. So this is meant to be like a smaller, light use EDC style light. So RovyVon actually recently came out with what I would call like a tactical version of this. So if you need a more robust light, more lumens, more features, even some defensive stuff built in, this is their E30 Pro. And it is a beast, kind of a stiletto style light. Lots of different switches on this. You got some quick action switches here. You got the same features that I just mentioned on the side of this. We'll start with these, where you can cycle through and kind of get your tail stand reading lamp options there. A black light, tap again to get your night vision light, which has all those same great modes and everything. Definitely more power to these things. So all those features you kind of look for from a RovyVon light, but built in, you have a double emitter here that has some really cool features. So your big main button here, you can cycle through regular flashlight modes. It also has a proximity sensor, so when you get to the brighter modes there that are actually pretty warm, if you get your hand close to it, it won't actually burn your hand or anything. It gets pretty bright actually, just depending on which mode you choose. That's kind of your normal flashlight mode. But what I really like about this thing is this quick access switch, where it can go straight into turbo mode, which is, I believe, around 2000 lumens. You can do a half press and see, like, you get that super bright mode. If I put my hand in front of it, that proximity sensor kicks in, so that way you don't fry your hand or anything. But with the full press, you access the self-defense features, which is a strobe mode. I'm going to show it real quick, so here we go. So a really good way to disorient somebody. So if you're looking for a heavy duty tactical style EDC light, the E30 Pro is a really cool stiletto style option from RovyVon. Also USB-C rechargeable, which is super cool, but really dig this thing. Can take an absolute beating and stuff, and it's definitely an upgrade if you're looking for something different than the A8. All right, moving right along, I'm going to show you what I think is probably going to be one of the most controversial upgrades in this whole video, and that is these ridiculously over-engineered nail clippers from Klhip. So here we go. You may have seen these online, or if you haven't seen these before, you're kind of in for a treat. So what we have here is a completely different take on nail clippers, which would be absolutely amazing to you or completely ridiculous. I don't know which camp you fall in. I kind of fell in the middle until I actually tried them, and I've become head over heels for this thing. So the clipper itself just pivots around, and their whole claim is these are basically the first ergonomically designed clippers where the pressure to clip the nail actually comes on the front. You actually push it down instead of typical nail clippers where you grab the back and push those down and they clip that way. This puts a tremendous amount of pressure right on the nail in the front of the clipper, which results in a super precise, extremely clean cut when you're cutting your nails, which means you don't have to file them down. You don't get that kind of weird feeling where you rub your fingers over your nails after you cut them. They may bug you for a day or two, but these things are an absolute pleasure to use. I don't think you can fully comprehend it unless you try a pair. Now, I'll go ahead and admit it because you guys probably already rolled your eyes when you saw the price. These are definitely over-engineered and probably absurdly expensive for what they are, but it's something that you may use every day or at least several times a week and stuff, and that you'll probably use for your entire life. It's one of those things that, like, once you use it, you don't want to go back to the other options. Super cool little upgrade there if you're looking for a way to treat yourself or just give a gift to somebody who's got everything but something they can actually use. Everybody has nails designed for your fingers. They work fine on my toenails and stuff too. I guess it just depends what kind of toenails and stuff you have. But as far as splurge purchases go, the Klhips are definitely a good one. So there you go. Comes with this over-the-top little leather case too. Let me know what you think about these things in the comments. All right, keeping things rolling here, let's talk about watch bands. So I feel like almost everybody I know has like an Apple Watch now. I feel like one of the coolest things about having one of those is the ability to personalize your watch bands. If you're planning on picking one up this fall or just changing things up, I think you should check out these straps from UAG. I found these earlier in the summer, and basically what they are is just a magnetic strap that is surprisingly secure, but also completely reversible. So if you want to invest in one nice strap that gives you a few different options, you can flip these around either way. The clasp mechanism on these is actually spring-loaded where it will fit no matter which orientation you go with. So if you want to go all orange, you can do that. If you want to go all green, you can do that. They come in several colors. I've also got the one on right now. This is like a gray that also has black built in. But what's surprising about these, you would think these would just pop off your wrist when you tug them and stuff, but man, when that magnet clicks in, these really aren't going anywhere at all. It takes quite a bit of pressure to even get it to move and stuff. So if you pick one of these up, the box actually comes with these little clasps here that you can put over to keep the strap further in place and keep it from moving. But I've actually taken those off on both of my bands because I feel like I don't need them. These just stay on well, and also found it very fidgety. So if I'm in a meeting at work sometimes where my brain is wandering, I find myself just kind of working with the clasp and stuff like this. But an awesome band option here that gives you multiple options too. You can even mix it up and do one color of each side and stuff. But if you're looking for new watch bands and you like this kind of low profile, easy on, easy off style clasp, these are reasonably priced. You can swim with them, they clean easy. I really dig these things. That's a pretty awesome watch strap option from UAG there. So I mentioned a few different lights earlier up here that we'd actually carry as an EDC style flashlight. I actually have a really unusual option that just came out from the folks at Wuben. So this is the E1. And what this is kind of like a MagSafe style light, or if you have like a case in your phone that has the magnets built in. I know Android has some stuff like that as well. This is almost a ring light that you can pop on the back of your phone. So if you're in any situation where maybe you're taking photos at night, or you're trying to record video at night or anything, or even if you're producing any sort of social content like a YouTuber like me, where you just need an extra video light, you have this really unique interface here. So you can kind of see this ring of LEDs built into this overlay here. But you just press and hold the button to turn this thing on. I've got it on super low right now. And you twist this almost watch dial style mechanism here to crank up the brightness. So I'll just kind of turn it here, you can see it. It's on a medium warm mode right now. You can cycle through that by just pushing this button. You can get really white light. You can push it again and get really warm light, or go with that double mode. But it gets surprisingly bright, surprisingly low if you need that. And of course, you can just turn it off by pushing the button there. But I really haven't seen anything like this out there, especially just being magnetized where you can pop it on and off. Or if you don't want to use it that way, you can either sit it down and pop it up too and get a little angled light there if you're trying to get some extra light in a video call. But really versatile little thing you can throw in your kit. Weighs nothing, takes up no space at all. Is actually USB-C rechargeable too. So interesting product there from Wuben. Definitely worth checking out. As far as unusual products go, got another one to show you here from the folks at Sharge. So Sharge already makes some really interesting power banks and chargers and everything else. But if you're looking to pick up a pretty small format but high wattage USB-C charger, I actually really dig this thing. By the way, that's what this is. It has my prongs down here, so it's actually just a little wall charger, but with 3 USB-C ports built in, goes up to a max of 67 watts. And you may be wondering why it looks like an old style Mac computer. You can even see the switches and stuff back here. That's because this little screen on here is actually a display that when you plug it in, shows this super retro style overlay where it almost has like the Matrix style pixels flowing over, and will show you with some old style digital letters how much wattage you're actually using to charge your gadgets and stuff. So if you're somebody who's looking to see the charging status of your gear, whether or not it's actually fast charging or trickle charging or anything like that, this is a super fun option that's really priced pretty similar to other 67 watt GAN style chargers like this. So really dig this little thing. It's really just a ton of fun to have, especially if you're into retro stuff like I am. So cool charging option there if you want to have a little bit of character there at your desk. Speaking of desks, this is another little charging product I picked up earlier this summer from Native Union that is kind of a take on an idea I've seen out there all over the place, which is just a general charging stand. But this thing works better than any of them I've come across. Fast charging, really solidly built, made out of super nice materials that for some reason just make it work a whole lot better than the typical desk charging stand you might have come across. Clean, minimal lines, doesn't look out of place next to your monitor or desk or however your setup is at work. But you have a MagSafe charger up here that actually fast charges your iPhone if you're into that. I know some Android phones have some magnetic cases and stuff too that will allow them to charge and stuff like this. But if you're an iPhone person, definitely worth checking out. But also down here you have a spot where you can throw your AirPods or even some other Qi charging items here. I found it actually pretty useful. USB-C, so it comes with charging cables and everything, but it will work with other charging cables if you have those already. 2 little indicator lights here, very minimalist. The thing I like the most about this though, like I mentioned, the materials are top notch, but it's also weighted on the bottom, so when you're putting your phone on and off or picking up your AirPods and stuff, the cheap ones, when you pick up your phone, it kind of knocks over pretty often. This has enough heft to it that it just solidly goes on and comes off very easily without knocking over on your desk and stuff. But if your phone is constantly running out of juice during the day, Native Union makes some really great chargers that are well worth checking out. You'll be surprised how much you use this thing. And finally, you guys know how much I love a good travel charger, and there's nothing worse than going on a trip and feeling like you have to like pull out all the wall warts and all the charging stuff on your nightstand, throwing it all in a bag every time, then coming home and doing the same routine just to get set back up. So an awesome travel charger is probably one of the most immediately noticeable travel upgrades you can get. This is a really great new one from UAG. It's about the size of a phone itself, but when you unfold it, you have a place for your AirPods, you have a place for an Apple Watch, you have a place for a Qi charging device, definitely built more for iPhones and stuff because it is magnetic and compatible with MagSafe. This also actually actuates and raises up. You have a stand on the back that you can pull out. So if you want to use the nightstand mode that's built into most phones, there's actually a travel charger setup that supports that, where you can pop your phone on here in landscape, pop your Apple Watch here, put your AirPods there, and get a pretty sick looking nightstand setup for your hotel room, all in a package that packs down very slim and charges at the highest wattage available to you. So a very cool option. Also comes with this bag, which for me, I feel like adding extra weight and heft. I probably won't carry this along with me. I have other cables and everything. But the charger this comes with is already a nice 25 watt USB-C wall wart, but it also comes with additional adapters and stuff if you travel internationally at all. They just slide over the back here, so they give you some extra options. They give you a nice rugged USB-C cable. So among the more premium travel charger setups I've seen out there, this one from UAG is one of the most unique setups I've seen. I just throw this down my travel bag with all my other stuff, and then you're good to go and pretty much have all the charging options you could ever need. All right, let's talk fitness for a minute because I think I've got something really cool to show you guys today. So if you watched our last gear update video, you may remember me talking about this thing. So this is the X3 bar, really interesting workout system that just uses resistance bands and a bar and a plate, and basically can replace anything you can do at a gym in a lot more effective way in a really small package. This thing actually works so well, in fact, that I got rid of my cable gym that's been a fixture of our house for the last few years. Anyway, if you didn't get to watch that video, definitely go check that out. But once I got rid of that cable gym, I realized I did miss a few key features of having a really solid pull-up bar, a dip station, and all these things that you kind of find with a big piece of gym equipment like that. And that leads me to what I want to show you guys today, and this is the Bullbar 2.0. So if you spent any time at all researching stuff like power towers or workout stations, you either find like the really terrible quality Amazon stuff that you would just stick up in a door frame or something, or you find these huge calisthenic stations that may actually work great but end up taking up like half of the room and everything. And that's where the Bullbar is actually a completely unique product, at least as far as I can tell. This is the only freestanding pull-up bar I've found in dip station and push-up station that actually collapses down into a teeny tiny package that you can stow away or just move wherever you want. So the way you set this thing up is actually pretty ingenious. You just remove a few safety pins, undo some clasps, take the legs that are built in the bottom and pull those out into position, and then all you do is take the bar in the middle, lift it all the way to the top, hit the clasp again, and throw those safety pins back in. The whole process, once you get used to it, probably takes 45 seconds, maybe a minute. But what you end up with is this awesome freestanding pull-up bar station that's way more sturdy, and in my experience, actually way more versatile than even all those freestanding power tower style setups. So not only do you get this really killer full width pull-up station where you can do closed grip, wide grip, really wide shoulder grips and everything, but it also comes with two of these padded accessory bars that you can actually put in on 3 different slots in the tower itself. So you have a way to do dips if you want to do that. You have a way to do bodyweight rows. You have a way to do all sorts of different angled push-ups that make this an extremely versatile piece of equipment. Now, as with any sort of freestanding pull-up bar, it does have like a tiny bit of wobble, especially if you're like me and use it on a carpeted area, which I don't even know if they advise that, but if you put this on like a flat surface, you're totally good to go. You'll just barely feel it as you do your pull-ups. But this thing's superpower is definitely its extreme portability, super easy to set up and take down, super secure. You got these pins all throughout the place, where if, and I don't even know how this would happen, if one of these clasps that are holding this thing up fail, you have those pins as kind of a backup that would keep it from collapsing. But this thing folds up into a really compact package that's maybe a foot tall and a few feet wide, making it really easy to stow if you want to throw this thing in the back of your car or in your truck. If you're into working outside or just taking it to different locations and stuff, that's not my style, but more power to you. All in all, if you have a small space or very little space, or just looking for the versatility of being able to move something like this around, the Bullbar 2.0 is probably one of the best like body weight exercise or calisthenic style equipment that I've ever seen, and it is definitely wife approved. I can set this thing up, get my workout in, take it down. You'll never know it's hidden in the corner of the guest room. It's pretty awesome. So I don't know about you, but the second that fall weather rolls in, I want to go grab my favorite hoodie or one of my go-to jackets and just get outside and get around a fire pit. All that said, I think it's fitting to kick off this section of the video by talking about two of the most commonly sought after hoodies in the market, and that is the American Giant Full Zip and Flint & Tinder's 10-year hoodie. So let's start things off talking through the American Giant. So if you've spent any time at all researching hoodies, you've definitely come across these two options. I swear they're on just about every list on the internet. So I want to give you a good comparison here because really I do love both of these things, probably for a little bit of a different reason. So American Giant makes a lot of hoodies. This is their full zip model. They also have like a lighter weight one, a really ultralight one and everything too. But their full zip is a super heavyweight hoodie. I mean, this thing feels heavy. It's got really thick fleece, double stitching all over the place, really thick cuffs. One of the things they're known for is having these reinforced sleeves. That way, if you're putting your elbows and stuff and everything, you're not going to wear through this thing over time. The hood itself is even like doubled up and thick, but all in all, this thing is built like an absolute tank, but super comfortable, very warm, and looks really good on. Of the two hoodies, this is definitely the most fitted one. Now, both of these hoodies we're going to talk about have more of an athletic cut. This one is definitely more slim fitting. I'm a medium guy. This is a medium hoodie, and putting this thing on, zipping it up, it is close to the torso, which I don't mind all that much. The pockets are great and super comfortable. The zipper's really nice and everything. But if you're looking for a well-fitting cold weather hoodie that's going to last you probably your entire life, American Giant makes some great ones. Definitely lives up to the reputation online. But let's check out the 10-year hoodie. So Flint & Tinder makes these. Again, it's the other most popular hoodie on the internet. I'll start off by saying I feel like there's a lot more colors available in this hoodie than there is in American Giant's. American Giant, they kind of go through seasonal colors and everything. These, there's like a huge palette of these. But this is really everything you want when you think of a classic hoodie. Extremely comfortable. It is form-fitting, but just a tiny bit baggy. Not big and baggy like a department store one, but probably a little bit more of a comfortable fit than the American Giant ones. You'll notice that the stitching on the sleeves has more of that athletic A-frame cut. And this is heavyweight, but definitely a little bit of a lighter weight than some of the other ones. Really nice thick hood. Great YKK zipper. This does have an extra pocket on the inside, kind of sewn in with the badging and everything. Again, made in the USA. They have like all the details about where they get the fabric. These are just fantastic, great looking, very comfortable hoodies. They also have a really great pullover, which again features all the great stuff you love about your favorite hoodie with probably just a little bit more of a form-fitting cut to it. Great pockets in the front. What I really love these for is layering, again, because they fit so close to your body. If you're wearing them along with a puffer jacket or a wax jacket, jean jacket, that sort of thing, these are absolutely perfect for it. Come in a ton of different colors. If you want to pay for a hoodie once that you can wear for the next 10 years, definitely check these out. I wish I could wear these every single day. Okay, so maybe you're more of a jacket person. Well, good news is I still got you covered. I'm going to give you two of my absolute favorites for the fall. The first one is maybe a little bit of a cheat because it is also from American Giant. It is actually a little bit of a hoodie in disguise as a jacket. So this is a new thing for them. I think this is the first year I've seen this, but this is actually a bomber jacket basically cut out of their awesome hoodie material. So it's got that same kind of thicker heavyweight fleece. It's got the same reinforcement on the sleeves and everything. So again, if you're using this for years and years and years, it's not just going to get beat up and fall apart like your normal Target hoodie or something would. Same YKK zippers, but it has the profile and the cut and the collar of a bomber jacket. And again, bomber jackets tend to like match absolutely everything too. I think that's a really cool look. But if you're looking for like a really cozy all-arounder that you can just throw on over a t-shirt, I think this is a pretty awesome option. Definitely a solid choice if you're looking at something new for the fall. And last but not least, it's really hard to talk about go-to jackets without talking about the wax trucker jacket from Flint & Tinder. Kind of the classic jacket that matches everything, that is just about right for any sort of scenario or any environment. Tons of different colorways every year from these guys, so definitely check that out if you haven't looked at them in a while. I think this is the forest one. This kind of has like a rich kind of brown greenish tint to it, but wax jackets are awesome. One of the few things you can get where the more you beat this thing up and the more you wear this thing, it's actually going to look better as it patinas over time. The wax naturally gives it a little bit of a weather resistant coating while keeping the fabric really pliable and comfortable. There's a few different versions of it. I think they have a wool lining. This is the flannel lining, which I think is just fine. And it's just warm enough for like 40 to 60 degrees. So most of the weather you're going to come across in the fall. And actually, I'll tell you, I have a few friends that have picked these up over the years too. I don't think I've met a guy that these don't look really cool on. So again, made in America, built to last. If you're looking for a go-to jacket that's going to look awesome and feel awesome to wear, this is the one you need to choose. All right, before we wrap things up, I do want to give you one quick shoe recommendation, and that's for one of my favorite brands that I've discovered the last few years, and that is Lems. This is a cool brand that's out of Boulder, Colorado. They have really cool looking, really rugged, really comfortable shoes. I think this is their trail sneaker. I don't know, I'll put it down in the title. They've got several different models. But what I like about these so much is they just feel like they're made to be around a fire pit. Very comfortable, very rugged materials, very bendy, very flexible, got great grip on the bottom and everything, and just have a little bit of a different look to them rather than the sneakers you probably reach for and go for pretty much anywhere you go. I will say that when I'm out and about, I probably get more people asking about these than just about any shoes that I wear. They always have really cool laces. They've got the cool speckle pattern and everything in the bottom. And again, really rugged, really comfortable, really tough. So if you're looking for a pair of shoes to get you through the fall, definitely check out Lems. I think you can't go wrong. So that's all the gear I got for this video, and I hope you found some really cool stuff that will make your fall that much more awesome. Don't forget, if you want to pick any of this stuff up, I've done all the research online. You can find the links down in the description. I've got coupon codes and links and everything else. Not only can you save yourself a little bit of money, but when you purchase stuff through those links, it actually helps out the channel too. So if you can, thanks for doing that. That's it for this video. As always, if you dug the video, be sure to hit the like button because it helps the channel out a ton, and subscribe if you want to see more cool stuff like this down the line. I'll see you guys next time.